What is up, Pokemon Go family? It is your boy, the Ghoul Guy, back at you guys yet again with another video. Today, we are going to be talking about counters for the new Gigantamax Gengar raids that are going to be coming out literally soon. Actually on the 31st of Halloween, so definitely stay tuned for that one. We're going to be talking about the counters, and as well, we're going to be talking about a update. Apparently, Niantic has heard everybody's outcry of these Gigantamax raids being freaking ridiculously hard, but essentially they have came out with an update essentially that should nerf them, I believe, just a tad. We're gonna look at this article here in a second. Well, not article, a Twitter post anyway. And then as well, I believe you're gonna be getting some Stardust here. So let's take a look at that right now, and yeah, let's start with that real quick. So anyways, so it says here from Pokemon Go Hub that trainers, Niantic has shared a handful of updates for Gmax, for the Gmax system. You can expect the Gmax Gengar, you can expect with Gmax Gengar anyway. We were given the explicit okay to share this quote from Niantic as source. So Niantic has said this themselves. So apparently you will get a 25k additional Stardust reward for defeating Gigantamax Gengar. So nice that they have that there, because a lot of people are going to be using a lot of Stardust to power up their Pokemon to actually be able to counter this Pokemon, and as well, it takes a lot of Stardust to, you know, level up, you know, even the Gmax moves, Guard, Spirit, like pretty much all those different moves definitely need Stardust. So appreciate them actually coming out and giving us some more Stardust. That is nice addition. And apparently they're going to be increasing the catch rate for the Gmax Gengar. So another thing people were having difficulties with was catching the Gigantamax Pokemon. And the thing is, when you spend a lot of Stardust to actually, well, Stardust, max particles, when you actually spend a lot of max particles to actually be able to catch these Pokemon, like essentially, like the fact that you wouldn't be able to catch them at the very end of using your max particles, 800 max particles to be exact, that is a bummer. That sucks dearly if you cannot catch these Pokemon. So glad they are increasing the catch rate for these Gmax Gengar Pokemon, because if you're spending money to actually, you know, get more max particles to actually catch these Gmax Pokemon, I would expect to have a lower rate to actually catch them, you know what I'm saying? Because that would suck. That'd be a bummer to actually not be able to catch them, and yeah, you just spent all that money. It makes no sense. And then apparently they are lowering the Gmax Gengar difficulty compared to previous Gmax raids. Now, we do not know exactly how much lower they're going to be, like lowering the difficulty of these Gmax raids. We have no clue, okay? So take that with a grain of salt. I'm pretty sure you're probably still going to be needing like 20 to 25 trainers, probably, potentially. So yeah, just take that information with a grain of salt. We're going to have to see what exactly they're going to be doing once these Gmax raids start popping off, which I believe is going to be the next 2 days. Yeah, the 31st. So yeah, the next 2 days, Halloween anyway. So yeah, so stay tuned for that. Now it looks like Niantic are listening to the outcries of everybody not being able to take out these Gmax raids, because there's a lot of people with a lot of communities that do not have that many people. I know in my previous video, in our community, essentially we have a lot of people to actually do these raids, which, you know, obviously they're coming from other communities too, because they couldn't even get them done in their own communities. So yeah, hopefully this happens so more people can participate in these raids and they can also have fun like we did in the previous video. Now that is over with. Now we're going to be talking about counters for Gigantamax freaking Gengar. Let's go. Let's look at the counters for Gmax Gengar. Obviously for Gmax Gengar, the top pick to use for Gmax Gengar is going to be obviously Dynamax Gengar itself. Well, Dynamax and as well as Gigantamax, of course, you're only going to have the Dynamax right now. So definitely I would go out there, try to collect as many Ghastlies as you can to evolve them into Gengar so you can like, you know, essentially level up your Gengar to where it makes one of the best counters you can have for Gigantamax Gengar, because essentially Ghost is going to be super effective against Ghost, and essentially, you know, Gengar is a really strong Ghost type, so definitely look out for that. Next is going to be Metagross Dynamax, of course, with Zen Headbutt, Psychic, and as well as just Psychic as the charge moves and the quick move there. Essentially, with that, normally if it was just a regular Ghost Pokemon, it wouldn't take effect, but since Gigantamax Gengar, or just Gengar in general, is a poison type, Psychic moves are going to do very high damage to Gigantamax Gengar. So definitely keep that in mind. If you have a Psychic or any kind of Psychic move, that is also going to do a lot of damage. But yes, Metagross going to be a top pick for counters. There's going to be Inteleon Dynamax. Inteleon Dynamax also has Shadow Ball as its charge move. Now, it only has Water Gun as the quick move, so essentially you're pretty much going to be using a water charge move onto Gengar, which is going to really take neutral damage. It's not going to be taking super effective damage, so definitely keep that in mind. You got Rillaboom with Rillaboom's Dynamax with Razor Leaf and Earth Power. Now, Earth Power, of course, is going to do a lot of damage. That is going to be the charge move, but we're going to be looking at the quick move, the Dynamax move, essentially. That is going to be Razor Leaf, which essentially, same thing. It's going to, like, since it's part poison, really it's going to take even less neutral damage, to be honest. But, you know, essentially they have that as the fourth top counter for this raid, so if you want to go with that, or if that's the only Pokemon you have, there you go. You got Charizard Dynamax as well with Fire Spin and Blast Burn. So of course, using the fire moves, stab fire moves with Charizard. Blastoise, you have Bite, so essentially that might also be a really good one, actually, just because Bite is going to be your quick move, so that's what you're going to be using when you Dynamax it. Dark is going to be super effective against Ghost types, so definitely if you have a Blastoise, use that Dark type move for sure. Going against this Gigantamax Gengar, and they also have the water move as the charge move, so you know, up to you if you want to use that. Cinderace Dynamax is going to be the next one here with Fire Spin and Flamethrower, so same thing with Charizard, but Charizard is going to hit obviously a little harder. You got Greedent with Bite and Crunch. I was also thinking of Greedent myself, just because of the fact that it is part normal, so other than the poison that would be coming from Gigantamax Gengar, you know, Shadow Ball and everything else will be essentially neutral to Greedent since it is part normal. So I was thinking of that one as a good defensive type. Essentially, it might actually, to be honest, like if you have a Gengar or a Blastoise, or even a Metagross, I would just have those as your attackers and probably just have Greedent as a Pokemon to take all the damage, if you are capable of building something like that, because essentially it's going to be a very good defensive type. Of course, it's not going to have any stab with Bite or Crunch, but at the same time it does still have a quick move that's Dark as well, so essentially you can use it as a shield, and as well you could use it as an attacker, so pretty nice. Greedent is a good option there. And then as well you got Venusaur with Vine Whip and Frenzy Plant. Essentially, of course, they're both grass moves. It's part like Gengar's part poison, so it's not going to do as much damage. Pretty sure they're just basically at this point just showing all the rest of the Pokemon that essentially you would have, or you would even have access to. But these are pretty much the last Pokemon you would use in this in these raids anyway. But then you got Double with Tackle and Wild Charge. Tackle is going to be non-effective. Definitely do not use Double at all. And then as well, Phalanx with Counter and Mega Horn. Yeah, Counter is not going to also do anything at all, so I would just recommend using Gengar, Metagross. You can use Inteleon. Inteleon's going to be very fragile, and especially since Water Gun is essentially just going to be like doing neutral damage, I wouldn't even recommend Inteleon, but I would definitely do Gengar, Metagross. You could do Blastoise because it does have Bite, and I would definitely recommend Greedent either as an attacker or just, as I said, as a defensive type, just because it is part normal, so it will be able to take most of the ghost moves coming from Gengar. But anyway, that is it. That is the end of the video. Those are the counters, and apparently those are the updates that Niantic is gonna have for these new raids. Well, for the new Gengar Gigantamax raid anyway. But let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know your comments. Are you excited? Are you not as excited? Do you like did it just give you a bad taste in your mouth from last Gigantamax raids that came out last week? Let me know down in the comments, man. Me personally, I'm super excited about it. Obviously, we have the community together and everything like that. I hope to get a shiny Gigantamax of this Pokemon, man. The white just looks so freaking good at this Gigant. Let's look at this real quick. Amazing. Yeah, like, look at that. All right, yeah. So definitely cannot wait to raid this Pokemon. But yeah, let me know down in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, definitely leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, man, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.